After grooving last weekend. How you doing, Nima?
Fine. So after grooving, yesterday was supposed to be my
Oh, okay.
and the person who was to cook said that he did not find soup. I beg, they pluck soup for tree. I mean, they cook am.
I don't get.
So Zuri was supposed to cook throughout yesterday, and we could only have breakfast in the afternoon because he did not find soup.
This is not good. Don't be coming here.
No, I just had to do this. I just had to know.
Eh?
That is weakness. It's something he can't do, but I need to push him to do it. So he couldn't do it, and we had to be bailed out by my sister-in-law yesterday.
Who now brought soup?
She brought everything in a very heavy cooler, and we couldn't even finish eating. But it's not nice that somebody cannot cook. But yesterday, Friday was, I've not stayed out in a long time, so I'm going to be enjoying it next. When I go out for events, I have to leave early because I don't have the convenience of nearby.
But you tried, you stayed.
I stayed, I kept monitoring traffic. It was either go early, stay in traffic, or go late, stay in traffic, and still go alone. So both were a risk. I enjoyed the ride home by myself. No traffic, at least. Just a bit of it. But it was,
rested the rest of the
really
weekend?
fun, yes. I must say thank you to a lot of people that came out. I know that came out when it wasn't, they had other events. And said to Bisola, Toba show up, Ija. So when I saw, I was super excited. And I heard that Madam Abike Dabiri made it, even though she had the flight.
It was a massive event.
How you doing, Maria?
I'm fine. So it was, as they say, Mariah buried her mom in grand style.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, so it was really enjoyable. As you know now, once it was 7:30 p.m., I started yawning. With all the noise and everything, I'm like, oh, I don't stay.
That was serving you people.
I don't.
You know yourself.
Wait, I had champagne. I had like 2 glasses of champagne.
So you were going to yawn at 7?
No. I naturally don't stay up late. So wherever you put me, even if you put me in a disco hall, once it's getting late, my body starts to shut down quickly. So it has nothing to do with the champagne, hater.
She was not happy with drinking that. How you doing, Top Man?
I'm good. Grateful.
You grooved.
I enjoyed. I didn't exercise that morning. I knew I was going to dance and work, and I completed 14,000 steps. I was happy with myself.
So you were counting.
Was like, my response. My husband said when I came, you were like 8,000. So that means between these 2 extra hours, I said, that was mission accomplished. But I was grateful to God for that. There was something that my husband has attacked me recently. I think we did a few seconds. He said, I'm proud. And I was not like, no. But then God gave me the right answer this morning.
You now saw the pride?
No. I did not see the pride. I now saw that it clicked for me that I had been around wealthy people growing up that did not help. So I've learned as a child not to worship or see wealth like you are big as a big thing. So you are big for yourself. I respect you that you have earned your success, but I'm not going to come and be saying I want to befriend a big person because I know that it's not, if God did not send you to bless me, you can have all the money in the world and you will not do anything for me. So I will respect you and face my hustle. The person that God sent to me will come and meet me.
Oh, this respect for your husband now.
No,
this response. No. He's going to watch it because he was saying I'm proud. Because I did not greet some people. He said I did not greet them the way I should have greeted them. And all of that. I'm not priding. It's not in their hands.
Today is...
They are not my future.
It's tell off the husband's true.
I'm doing marketing. I'm selling. Sales, galore, hair, clothes, anything you want.
I think this is the best time to buy.
Yeah.
Because before Christmas season, now...
And you know the dollar rate.
Let us know what you're selling that Muslima can wear.
No, now. Okay, something... Okay, don't worry. I'll get your own stuff for you. Then you model them for me. You model them for me. No. My babes are working. Okay, right now.
So all the speakers of all the 36 states, head by the chairman Abubakar Suleiman, had a meeting in Kaduna State, and they released a 5-point communique at the end of that meeting. One of the major grounds they had was that the presidency, they appealed to, should declare all bandits terrorists, and that they've analyzed the activities of bandits, and they do exactly the same thing terrorists do, and that there's no reason they shouldn't be proscribed as terrorists, and let all the right action be carried out against them. Then they also raised the issue of governors, that the governors that have not signed the financial autonomy bill that the state assemblies had passed within their states should do so, because it will strengthen democracy and many other. Then they mentioned that the Northwest, the North Central have promised to help the federal government with security framework to improve security challenges within their area, but they need the federal government to also help by carrying out that prescription of calling bandits terrorists very fast, so that the implementation of security can be swift. So everybody's speaking.
CBN raises healthcare fund to 20 billion. So the CBN governor at the weekend, during the opening of Duchess International Hospital in Ikeja, also said that the intervention fund for the healthcare sector, which was 100 billion, has been expanded to 200 billion. And this is, of course, we know, geared towards the healthcare products and services, local pharmaceutical companies, healthcare practitioners that are willing to expand their capacities. They can benefit from this scheme. And he says this is expanded also because of the pandemic to cushion the effect and meet with demands, and also to help to reduce medical tourism. So he's hoping that this fund will help us scale up our healthcare, to international standards, and also make sure that we have specialists, pharmacies, pharmaceutical products and services. Everything will be found here. Will meet all sorts of, all demands, and we don't need to travel every time.
I hope the politicians who actually do the traveling, because people like us don't travel. We can't afford to.
Some of us don't have a choice. So I have a friend that had cancer, and there's only one PET scan. Actually, there wasn't any PET scan in Nigeria. Wow. And only one currently. Each scan costs 750,000 naira. So obviously, if they would put these funds into the getting equipment for the medical sector, people would need
to meet the needs.
Yes, there's a need, and so it's important that this fund reaches the hands of those that would use it.
750 is a lot of money. I hope that also subsidizes. Yes, I have the INEC assuring visually impaired people of their franchise this time in the elections in Anambra. They said they've created what is called the Braille ballots. So this instead of the blind persons going into the ballot area with assistance, they can now just do it on their own. Wow. Somebody can then say this one, this party, that party, but now they can actually. This is commendable, and it's been appreciated by the chairman of the Joint National Association of Persons with Disability, Ugochukwu Okeke, who has thanked INEC for this and says that this will not be put to waste. And he also appreciated all their efforts in creating the desk for gender and for people with disabilities within the INEC.
That's inclusivity that we're talking about.
Yes.
Awesome.
They're listening.
They're listening. So they said government abducted 3 worshippers in Ogun State, a church, Cherubim and Seraphim, Obada Oko area of Ewekoro, Council of Ogun State.
I really tried.
I'm trying. I killed it. Thank you. And so they were having a vigil when government invaded the church and abducted 3 persons. They mentioned their names here to be Ifeoluwa Alani Bello, Adebare Oduton, and Mary Oliide. And they are already asking for 6 million naira to be able to get them out. So the police command is saying that they have advised people not to carry out vigils in isolated areas. And even if they have to, they need to take permission so that they can have patrol and, security to protect them when they carry out such vigils. So let's move on to the Punch. Subscribers push for 2-month extension. Deadline expires Sunday. Otedola, shareholders analysts project spike in FBN share price. INEC needs 17,618 workers to conduct APC PDP primaries. World Bank blacklists 18 Nigerian firms, individuals for corruption, reports. Amoteco deploys personnel in boundary communities, 13 fleeing Oyo inmates arrested. Buhari jets off to Saudi Arabia for investment summit today. Odua, EFCC detains AIM over 780 million aviation ministry fund. Army detains soldier for assaulting Kwara nurses during wife's delivery. Gunmen demand 6 million for 3 kidnapped Ogun worshippers. We've taken that. NDLEA seizes UK, Malaysia-bound drugs. Owners arrested in Lagos, Kano, others. What are we taking in
let's just quickly finish what INEC, since I took INEC earlier.
Okay.
So INEC is saying that they would need about 17,000 plus workers to conduct primaries within the APC and the PDP alone, because now the Electoral Act, after amendment, allows for direct primaries within these parties. That, you know, for direct primaries, you need more manpower to man these areas. And in the meantime, the National Assembly is now looking at how to revert to the indirect primaries. So we don't know which one will finally happen, but that's the report. Quickly, the World Bank also blacklisted certain companies within the country for corrupt, what they call corrupt and collusive activities. They gave details of them. They said they have, you know, been involved in corrupt practices, fraud, collusive practices in their entire 2021 fiscal year. That's what their report is saying. And in details, they name the companies, the instances of their corrupt practices within the paper. But you have 18 of them. I cannot start to name everything and what exactly they did. But that report is very detailed if you need the...
Any other story?
Yes. The NDLEA story. The operations of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency intercepted 2,060 kilograms of assorted drugs, including heroin, cannabis, tramadol, and rofinol. These drugs were intercepted. One particular one, 4.4 kilograms, was intercepted at Sako. That's being imported into Nigeria from Johannesburg, South Africa, via Ethiopia Airline. Was cleared by Chukwuemeka Ugochukwu, a freight agent, and the consignment was another person, Kabiru, a storekeeper. It was embedded in sugar. So it was supposed to be cleared in as a sugar or as flour, and inside it was heroin weighing 4.4 kilograms. Another was cleared at 550 grams, was cleared on the 15th of October. That one was at the shed within the airport. And I remember when I was traveling, some of the guys were saying, we most of the things you people mention on TV, we are the ones that catch them right here, right here. As I'm checking your bag like this, we see some bags and we check it. So there's a whole lot going on to reduce the inflow of drugs into the country. The agency also said that another attempt was carried out by a freight company, Igwe Oyechukwu, to export 2 consignments of cannabis to the United Kingdom, and it was foiled by the agency on the 15th of October as well through NACO. Yeah. So, there's a whole lot.
Your story.
But I gave it to her.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, we have...
Miriam, I think we should take a short break. When we come back, we continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank goodness. Now that Grandma is here, I can take my leave.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV.
Welcome back. We're still doing the punch. So, Miriam.
Former Secretary to the Government and one-time Senate President Pius Ayim is being grilled by EFCC in connection to a 780 million naira lump sum that was allocated for rehabilitation project under the Ministry of Aviation. Remember, we're talking about Stella Odua's involvement in this particular case. So they said about 780 million of that money was traced to a private company that happened to be owned by Pius Ayim. So he was with the EFCC, they say yesterday, Sunday, and at the time of the report, he was still with them, being asked questions on why this money ended up with him, of course.
So the 22 Armored Brigade of the Nigerian Army's Sobi Cantonment, Ilorin, Kwara State, detained a soldier for allegedly beating 2 female nurses at the Sobi Specialist Hospital, Ilorin, owned by the Kwara State government. So what happened was that this soldier's wife was about to give birth. That's the hospital she's been using for her antenatal. And then by the time she got there, they requested that the husband should get the hand gloves, the pads, as usual, and he refused, saying that the government had provided for everything, and so they should find a way to use it on the wife. And then he went out and came back. While they were still asking for the things they sent him to go and buy, he started harassing and beat up 2 nurses, dragged them, beating them, punching and everything. And so he's been taken into custody by the army. They are interrogating him. He's detained, and the nurses are, being attended to, being treated for that. And I'm really worried. Yes, that's the thing. We need to do more. No, we need to, for people
we use it to be paid. We bought all these things now.
But some people still come there to fight every time, saying that they think it's free. I think about government making clear what they are provided, and hospital management is declaring what they are giving.
But does that resort to beating up people who are doing their jobs?
No, that's completely wrong.
That
is totally wrong. But this just exposed what happens within hospitals.
Okay,
so let me quickly take the ASU story. The president of ASU, Professor Emmanuel Eleke, has said that the Minister for Labour, Dr. Chris Ngige, mentioned that on the 2nd of August, they had disbursed 30 billion, as agreed on the 12th of January this year, to be payments to ASU, to the universities to fund the issues that has been ongoing from time immemorial after the 9 months strike. But now the 30 billion has not been released to them. That is with CBN. Reason being that the internal audits going on the previously disbursed money needs to be confirmed before they will release this new 30 billion. The government is now, the ASU people are now announcing to the government that we are waiting for this 30 billion. The deadline is the end of October, and we hope that you tidy up everything you want to do and ensure the money is released before there will be another impending strike. I join all Nigerian students to ask the government to please answer ASU. This strike has been ongoing for too long, and give them the money you said you've released to them.
We can't even afford to have another strike right now. But I think we should go on a very short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup, check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script, check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR, check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set, 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Flash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup, check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script, check. Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR, check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
Ọkọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ yẹn.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ bí jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ yẹ kí ọmọ tó mọ̀ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Thanks for staying with us. We apologize for the break due to a technical glitch that we experienced. So let's quickly move on to the Daily Sun. Editors to federal government, insecurity hampering development. Federal government talks tough over Oyo State jailbreak. Vows to recapture fleeing inmates dead or alive. Sit at home, Anambra adopts Saturday as school day. Ohaneze Tumalami, stop pitching Yoruba against Igbo. Nnamdi Kanu, we are taking steps to secure consular access to the UK. VAT, Rivers not fighting federal government. Once constitution respected, says Wike. What do we have?
Yeah, so in Anambra State, they've adopted Saturdays as a school day due to the sit-at-home that happens on Mondays, and children are losing time. And the state government is trying to be, proactive. It says does not want their children to lag behind, and so has approved Saturdays for school days. And I hope that this would not be a problem with, the other things that are happening in that state and in the East. It's really important that our children still get the education that they need and that they deserve. Yes.
So the All Nigerian Editors Conference, the 17th edition, took place on the 21st and 22nd of October. Rising from that conference of editors, there was a communique released by the President, Nigerian Guild of Editors, Mustafa Issa, and the General Secretary, Nigerian Guild of Editors, Iyosoba Iwugare, from the meeting. So one of the things, the highlight of the communique was the fact that the media, the insecurity challenges facing Nigeria is affecting and is crippling development generally, and that's from bandits to arm-carrying headers and to terrorists have caused development to grind to a halt. And so they are seeking that there must be collaboration between the media as well as the military, so that that currently it looks like there's a suspicion. So there's suspicion from the part, mutual suspicion between the military and the media, and they need to work together to properly inform people of what is going on part-time. That journalists are often impaired because they don't have enough information and are harassed by security agencies, and this shouldn't be the case because the journalists are the means with which information is carried from the military to the citizenry, and so they shouldn't be harassed or disturbed from carrying out their action. And I really believe that we are hoping, all of us that work in the media space, to collaborate with the military to find a more lasting solution to the security challenges of this country.
However way we can. Thank you so much. So, okay, go ahead.
So at the public lecture marking the birthday of, 60th birthday of Ahmed Raji in Abuja, Wike's representative, who is the Attorney General for Rivers State, talked about this tax and VAT battle that they're having with the federal government, saying he finds it funny when people call it a war between them and the federal government. What they're trying to do is, expound on the principle of co-equality, which is fundamental to any federal arrangement. According to them, this principle ensures principle of autonomy, which leads to another principle of physical autonomy, and then that of physical federalism, eventually, that, they are co-equals. The federal government and state government are co-equals. They derive their source from the Constitution, and they must establish certain boundaries, even though fiscal. So,
okay. Let's move on now to the points. Admission scam. Why many VCs may prosecute Oloyede. 700,000 unqualified candidates admitted outside CAPS. How I dealt with corruption trap at JAM. Many state universities shouldn't be in existence. NDIC liquidates 424 deposit money. Microfinance banks pays 129.6 billion to depositors. Alleged moves by Okowa to acquire Ibori Golf Course raise temper in Delta. Ebonyi community where life's property perish in the river. Who has what story?
The major headline, you said, may be prosecuted, so that the ones that are focusing on.
Yes, so this is a really sad story in Ebonyi State. It's in Okoroko Umu Ezioka community in Ezza North local government in Ebonyi State. The people in the community are really sad and they're crying because for many years now, they say they have been losing people on a bridge. So this particular community have a makeshift bridge over a particular river, Nramura River. and the makeshift bridge is made with bamboo. They've never had a proper bridge.
Wow.
And usually in the rainy season, it gets slippery, and many of them have lost their lives. They said many people going to work, many residents were interviewed for this report. One said he lost his wife and a few months old baby on her way to work, to the market. They found her things. So another person lost his father. They said they found, 3 days later, they found his bike in the river. That was how they knew that he had fallen into the river. Many people have lost their lives that way, and the elders in the community say it's really painful to lose young ones, that students are constantly risking their lives to go to the neighboring community to school, having to pass that bridge, that they have asked that government should help them to construct a bridge, and it seems not to be, happening. But the report, towards the end of the report, the commissioner has said that, in fact, that they're working on it, that there's a next batch of bridges that will be constructed, and that particular bridge is one of them. It should be an emergency.
I don't
It's
get
not
it.
enter urgently. Who is the local government chairman?
Let's move on now to the Daily Trust. After Daily Trust story, Kano blind teacher gets job, house. Amidst legal issues, PDP to proceed with convention. Despite SIM NIN linkage, kidnappers, bandits still demand ransom via phones. Why it isn't working, experts, policy effective, Pantami. Buhari leads Nigeria's delegation to Saudi Arabia Investment Summit. 780 million fraud, EFCC grills ex-Senate President Ayim, we've taken that. Gunmen attack Ogun Church, abduct 3 worshippers, we've taken that story. 33 states may not pay salaries as 172 billion deduction grounds revenue disbursement. Who has what in the Daily
Please, let's talk about the state governors. They don't have money. So maybe that might be why Ebonyi State has been unable to do the bridge, but they should put priority on that particular situation. But Budget released a statement in 2019 that only 3 states are able to cover their recurrent expenditure on a monthly basis. Follow up to that now, because of the repayment of the Paris Fund loan, because of the repayment of $418 million, 33 states might be unable to pay salaries. And the Nigerian Governors Forum have spoken up concerning this, that there's a suspicious payment that is going to some private consultants, that there is a controversial 418 million to consultants that is being paid by the government. That what exactly did the consultants do? And that there's a court case saying that this payment should not be made. But the government is acting in, that is, what's the word, in contempt of the courts. Is acting in contempt of the courts by paying these monies, and and this money is going out of their allocation, so which means that the governors don't have enough funds to keep their states solvent. They've already consulted apparently, and we have signed this agreement that is paying them a huge amount of money when we don't have enough money in our coffers. But governors should get more creative. You don't have money coming from the federal government. You must find a way to generate money internally. You must block leakages within your states, and you must still deliver good governance to your people.
The federal government also should block leakages. They shouldn't pay consultants. If I don't reach agreement or some outrageously ridiculous amount of money. But the major headline, the Daily Trust is, in this article is querying the SIM and NIN linkage, saying that this has not quelled any banditry or kidnapping as it was supposed to. These were some of the defense that the president, when he launched it, had said that, it would quell, but it did not. That even with these linkages happening around the country, they had to take down telecommunication masts in states like Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, and all of that. And even still, despite that recently the kidnap of some members of the NYSC camp going to camp and the demand of 2 million each per person is still there. They talked about several other kidnapping that are popular, that have happened, and they have contacted family members via SIM. And the
prospective core members.
Prospective on their way to camp.
Yeah, they are not members yet.
And now the federal government, through the Minister of Communications, replied saying that this was effective, despite that, because kidnappers no longer use their own phone numbers to call for ransom. They use the phones of their victims to reach out.
Is it not the same phone line and network?
They are communicating. There are many issues.
Please, the final story here. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Omar Ganduje yesterday offered a permanent job to Daburu Idris Abdul Hamid, a blind volunteer teacher in the state. So this blind guy had forged ahead, gone to school, gotten his NCE for education, and Daily Trust carried out a report on him, I think on the 23rd of September.
Yes.
They saw it. The governor had to call him and asked him what he wanted. And he said he wanted to be able to, so he had already gotten a scholarship to go back to the university, that he wanted to be a lecturer, he wanted to be a teacher, that he wants them to give him a permanent job that is pensionable at the end of the day. So they've offered him a teaching job in a special school where he's schooled, and he's currently doing his postgraduate now, master's, or whatever he's doing currently.
To get more.
You know, it's encouraging to people living with any form of disability that you can still make it.
And a degree in education.
Degree in education. Thank you so much. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we take our hot topics. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
We are one. We are console.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be. Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it? Kọjú wa sẹ́yìn. Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ pé jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́ tó mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by
payments, which will enable housing to be more available to Nigerian masses. What are your thoughts on this? Join the conversation and call us on 081-270-53687 or 091-390-76948. When I saw that, I was like, wow. Okay. As a landlord, as a tenant, what would be your perspectives? Where would you want to? Because I know that sometimes most of these landlords really invest their life savings and earnings to have something at the end of the day that would be like another stream of income that will sustain them. We already know the failures of the states and how you finish work, you are fighting to get your pension. So this is a sort of pension for some people. But now that the state government is saying we would likely have laws that will make sure that people pay just monthly to serve the masses, what happens to the people who have invested, who have built without the support of government?
No, the minister is saying that he's advising state governors to create the law within their states to make it mandatory for people to pay monthly. From a tenant's perspective, it sounds good, it sounds fair for planning. From the perspective of someone in the real estate business and knowing the numbers that I know, if you build a 4 flats or you build a duplex in Lagos right now, it will take you in the minimum 7 to 10 years, sometimes as much as 12 years to recover. If you're collecting your salary, your rent, that's even on the case that you don't have any default. By the time you finish building your commercial property and you're collecting rent every month, it might take you 10 to 12 years to recover the initial money that you used in purchasing the land and building, which doesn't make business sense. Which is why many developers don't do rental. They do buy and sell. They build and sell so they get their money back and continue the business. A government cannot create a policy on what you should do with your money when it did not support you in making the money or in financing your building project. If you check out developed countries where there are stipulated laws concerning how you should do your rent, all that the policies, the government literally funds everything. You get a land, the government gives money to build. You want to get mortgage, you get mortgage to buy. The process is so government involved to make it easy for everybody. But if the government isn't doing much to support the industry, then they cannot create policies that might that will not be effective in raising the industry at all. They tried it with saying 1 year rent, and it's not been very successful.
Okay, so in my own case, looking at it from both sides and looking at what, happens right now when it comes to defaulters. First of all, I want to say that I think it will be a fantastic idea to be able to pay monthly, because it will help a lot of people, build on their earnings to improve themselves. When I was growing up, I grew up with a mother who was a nurse. She was the breadwinner and the sole provider for us. And I'm sure it would have gone a long way if she was able to pay monthly instead of putting all her earnings together, try to put everything and pay yearly. So it really made it tough. And I know that this particular law, it's being geared towards low-income earners. So that's on the one side. But the second thing is that I know that in Nigeria, you cannot, if someone defaults, and no matter how long the person has defaulted, you cannot just take the person out and throw the person out. There is a process, and that process takes a long time. And I know that so many cases of landlords and tenants in court. This is even the 1 year, 2 year rent. So if you were to push the monthly rent style, then you have to do something about how to get your money. You have to do something about how a landlord now does not completely completely loses out because he has decided to put his earnings, his earnings into building a building for people to rent. And for me, I think also it will discourage, they're trying to do this to encourage more housing units and provide basic shelter for people. But what it will do is that it will discourage people who have money to build homes from building. So we need to be careful that in order to push this 1 month, what else can the government do to make sure that the landlords themselves see it as an advantage for them? First of all, like Tope has mentioned, should there be some form of payment plan where government sort of pays maybe the first 6 months and then says to the tenants, you pay the remaining. So for the first 6 months, the landlord is comfortable enough and waiting until the tenant is able to pay the next one. Is it a direct debit on low-income earners that are working in formal, settings, that so they can get their monthly rent from source? Or else, if we leave it to, just pay as you go. Pay as you go. I think it will be very difficult to get your
Thank you
rent.
for your thoughts, Miriam. Nima?
It's, for me, a welcome alternative. So this shows that, the minister is constantly faced with questions like this and is preferring solutions. The issue for me is, locking it down on a particular policy. So when they brought the 1 year rent policy and made it law, you found landlords finding alternatives on how to bypass it. I think they should open up that sector. If your choice is a 2 year plan, it's the choice of your tenant to take it. It doesn't become illegal if you choose to recover your money that way. If it is your choice to do a monthly plan, if you're a considerate investor and think life is hard for me too, I want to consider my tenants, it should be like that. And you will have other criteria that you would pick your tenant by. If I had an investment, for instance, a house where I wanted to put my tenant on monthly rent, my tenant had to show means, a job that I'm sure
to pay
and certain that he can pay, and he can put that payment on recurrent payment so that automatically his account is debited to that amount from source. So I can rest on it. But I don't want government to unlock it on a monthly plan, forgetting that we have mischievous tenants everywhere.
Are you telling me?
With also an alternative that I've always considered is putting the recovery of premises action in a special court.
Yes.
I have had a whole year in court just to
make
recover.
It faster,
And you have some tenants who are owing up to 3 years, telling the landlord,
you can't do me nothing.
You have not given me 6 month notice. That
and yet you are owing 3 years.
The law had to intervene. There was a particular case in study that I love to use all the time, where the court said, you are owing. You have already, defaulted over a year. You are not entitled anymore. You're only entitled to 7 days notice to recover premises, and that is what most. But when we still get to some magistrate court, the court will now say, no, go back to the old policy of 6 months notice. And then you find a tenant down, lording it over
the landlord,
a person whose for most people in Nigeria whose pension is his house.
Yes.
For most people.
Yes.
So if my pension was my house, a monthly rent would do, but a mischievous tenant would then bring a clog and I'm suffering. So I think that should be opened up. Let it be a choice of both tenants and landlords to use any of these methods to, to do their business. And if they do, let it be under an emergency court, because of course there's that line of abuse from either landlord or tenant. So let it be a quick court process so that it's not justice delayed, justice denied victim for either party.
Well done, very fantastic. You know, when I saw this, I was like, in my mind, this is a welcome development. I think we need to get to a point where, as you're making money, you're also considering other people around you. Let's be humane in everything we're doing. So we're asking for God's blessings to be able to build our own homes, but also you should be a blessing to people around you. So if you can make it a monthly payment and then people are able to have accommodation, and your blessing is also in heaven aside from the rewards you're going to get. But I would have preferred that the government takes the lead. We have housing that government has built where they are selling off to different people, and they are not, some people are complaining. There are some areas now, the area I was living before, they were complaining that they couldn't have access to those buildings because they couldn't afford it. And for me, if the government had used some of those houses, put people in as rents, let them pay monthly, start it, see how it works. Then, hold on, start to see how it works, then start having conversations with landlords to say, this is a policy we have started, this is working, we have modalities to handle those people who offend and are not able to pay, and then you get your money, and then let the landlords decide by themselves that, okay, I think this is an option that is viable for me. But when, like you mentioned, but when you put it into a law, it becomes mandatory for the money you are not even aware how they made in the first place.
No, it really doesn't. See, government is not for one side. Government is for every side.
Okay.
So government, it doesn't matter how the money is made. If you allow a capitalist system without regulation, there will be definitely abuses. So the government has to regulate. Okay. On the part of government not doing this method, taking the lead, government is already doing that. And I'm aware, yes.
There's rent to own.
Yes, there's rent. No, apart from rent to own.
Monthly payments?
Most of the buildings that I know that the government
Lagos homes
own. No, that's for state. I'm talking of federal.
Federal, okay.
They are built and, disbursed under the Federal Mortgage Bank and all of that policies that allows you pay at a very reduced percentage from your salary.
Is it monthly?
Yes.
Yes, they do monthly payments.
In fact, the 0% is for your annual income. Okay. So people should avail themselves the information first.
But the qualifications, pre-qualifications are tough as well.
Usually, no, they're not tough.
But they should give us
they're
data.
not tough. It's people who don't tidy their papers.
We need to have data on how many they have, how long is working. So when you present this data and everybody's seeing the figures,
they build outside
cities. Okay.
So people will say Otijinoju eventually, and they will take, but those will take.
All right. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we take phone calls and messages. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Here today, gone tomorrow. 'Cause you volatile like the water. And you promise what you don't know. Sometimes it's right and then it's so wrong. Them go do like say them.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
A little bit more effect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. Miriam had a comment?
Yes. So, in response to what Nima says, where we're talking about the prerequisites that you need to have or pre-qualifications to be able to, access some of the housing that's provided by government. First of all, we also talk about the fact that our economy is 60%, they say, about informal. And that means that there are people who may not be qualified for some of the things that government is putting in place. So if you have an informal, so this housing that we're asking for, who is the target market? Is it for the 60% that are out there who do not have these papers, who do not have,
tax
or 80%, tax receipts and things like that. So if we're talking about those people, then government needs to do a lot of work before we get to the point where we're asking them to pay monthly salaries, or the government has to now provide these housing themselves and deal directly with this informal sector and find a way to formalize it. We've had this conversation of how to formalize the informal, the huge informal sector that we have in Nigeria. And these are some of the things that affects them, where they're unable to access government interventions because, we just cannot find them data, papers, or anything to. So, I think when government is talking about some of these policies, they need to understand that they need to look at it holistically and find out how to first deal with some of those issues. And then I think housing will sort of fall into place when that's done.
Thank you so much. Let's take this call. Ladele from Ibadan. Good morning, Ladele.
Good morning, my lady.
Good morning.
My heart goes to Morayo. My kind regards to her.
Thank you.
Yes, on the discussion, I want to say we've had such an intervention before during the military administration of Mobolaji Johnson in Lagos. Did it work then? It did not. Why didn't it work? Because government does not hold those houses that they are legislating over. Now, if the government, there is a lot the government can do to really make housing affordable, and that is making the materials for building affordable for the common man to build their own houses. And not only that, they should also look at the possibility of giving out to civil servants housing loan that is meaningful, that will help them to really build their own houses. But in a situation where you are asking landlord, like one of you reasonably said, many people build this house to make it their pension when they are out of office or in their old age. And this is the only area where they are able to accrue money for their various needs. So now legislating that it should be monthly cannot work. It has never worked before. It will not work again.
Thank you so much, Ladele Tope.
Please, let me, there are many issues I want to address. Number one, I think that every person paying rent should actually plan monthly for it if you earn on a monthly basis and save up. I always tell people when I'm discussing financial planning that you don't wait until 3 months to your rent is due before you start quickly running around to be saving money or begging people for money and all of that. You're supposed to already be saving ahead into special accounts. This is for your rent. That is proper planning. Number two, you cannot legislate. You cannot legislate on what is not yours. You must provide infrastructure. Now, when I was in the US, I did a bit of investigation on housing, and I spoke to some people, and I realized that before you rent out houses in America, they do a check on your finances. There's a credit score system, so they can know your credits. They know if you are good for it when you are giving loan. Then they also investigate to find out how did you leave your former house, and get reference from your former landlord before you get a new one. The next one, you put a default fee on ground. You pay a month rent up front. So when we don't have all these systems in place, so you can run a check on the finances of the people, you can trace whoever it is that you have a guarantor. You can call their employment to verify the quality of their employment. Putting policies that there are no frameworks on ground to back up the policy might not fly. So there are many other adjacent infrastructure that will make this policy work, that we must first put on ground before we implement the policy itself.
All right, let's take this call from Christopher. Christopher from US. Good morning.
Wow.
Morning.
UK.
Morning. Yeah. Good. Hello? Hello?
Hello, can hear you. You're live.
Yeah, morning. I just want to contribute to what you guys are saying regarding the monthly rent. I think Tope just said now, she's right, and also what Miriam said earlier on, they are both right. I think before government can come up with this monthly rent, I think we need to go into proper planning, put things in place, as in a proper law that will guide both the tenant and the landlord as well. And as it is now in Nigerian economy now, I don't think monthly rent would be the ideal pattern now.
Okay. Thank you, Christopher.
So I want to add that there's a large level of hardship created by the middlemen called agents and what are they called? Whatever we call it, agents and agencies. I'm a practitioner. I manage buildings. Okay. So some of the things Tope talked about are things that I do in my firm. Before you come in as a tenant for buildings that I manage, I have your details. Okay. I have your details. I know the size of your family. I see if the building can take them.
Now I'm talking about the agreements they pay aside from agency fee.
I draft agreement, but these people don't draft. They only find you the building and they take a whooping 10% of the rent, annual rent. They create double hardship. Recently, my younger sister had to move. And, aside the annual rent, that is almost $1 million, you had to then find that 10% for an agent that, did not build the house. The person does not, his own is that because I link you, I get that whooping 10%, and it's not negotiable. to make it non-negotiable is even
5%
further
now.
creating hardship.
They do 5%
So
now.
Sometimes,
if these people are not professional, their fees should be more than negotiable, and it shouldn't be up to that point where it makes it harder, because government is only trying to see how they can ease things for everybody by, creating fees that are payable by tenants, as well as, that they consider enough for a landlord who's invested his money. So what they can do is, of course, take care of this area, legislate upon these agents and all of that.
There's
Very
legislation
important.
upon them.
Also, if they must exist, a 10% on a 1 month rent is enough.
But there's legislation on the agents.
See.
Lagos State has legislation on agency.
No,
They have
only Lagos State.
only Lagos State,
with
yes.
the new tenement law. And even in Lagos State, where that
They are
law
not
exists,
implementing.
they are not implementing.
Okay,
it.
so we have Honorable Toke Benson on the phone, the special advisor to the governor of Lagos State on housing. Good morning, sir.
Ma.
I saw Benson. I'm sorry. Good morning, ma.
Hello, my name is Tony, calling from Korodu.
Oh, okay. That's a caller. Good morning, Mr. Tony. Let's have your thoughts.
Hello.
That's
Hello.
Madam Toke.
That's okay. Okay. We apologize. There was a mix-up. So, Honorable Toke, good morning, ma.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm doing amazing, ma.
Thank
So
you.
we've been talking, I don't know if you've been listening to the show, we've been talking about the law that would likely be coming up, and how the government can enact a law that would ensure that tenants pay monthly as against yearly. So,
Yes, actually,
okay.
Can I go ahead?
Go ahead, yes, please.
Actually, we might not necessarily be looking at a law, we might be looking at a policy.
Policy, okay.
And I think I heard one of you saying that government does not only have to think of the investor, but also the people of Lagos State. And we should make policies that would alleviate the pains of everybody. Yes, the landlord wants to make his money back. Yes, the landlord invested for pension and for certain other reasons. We're also taking those into consideration. I think I would just advise that you hold on a bit, take a back step, and see what the policy would be. It's not something that is it's not draconian.
Okay.
And we've actually been practicing the monthly tenancy through our rent-to-own program. I know Nima spoke about this. And quite a number of people have been beneficiaries of the rent-to-own. What we do is we charge you 5% once you buy the house, which is the down payment. Then you pay on a monthly basis for the next 10 years. So we have been doing it. We've safeguarded our investments through pre-qualification, and it is open to both the formal and informal sector. We have a board called the Lagos State Mortgage Board, and that's where the pre-qualification process takes place. They look at your income over a certain period, and they look at the pattern. So what the policy says is that we cannot allow you to get on the scheme if we are going to take more than 33% of your monthly income. So we are aware of the fact that you need to do other things with your income. So if it is over 33% of your income, then you will not be pre-qualified for that particular unit you're trying to buy. So we're doing it. We're looking at everything. It's also going to help us stop fraud in the real estate industry. So recently, we've had enormous complaints and petitions on people who have paid yearly rent, and then the landlord disappears or the developer disappears with all their monies. That is also going to help us with that. And I heard somebody speak about civil servants. Civil servants are beneficiaries of at least 25% of all the housing units that the Lagos State government builds. So yes, we are taking them into place. And don't forget, they also have their own cooperative societies and loans available to them as well. On the agents, yes, we have legislated on the agents. We will continue to try to enforce, but it is huge. Lagos is a huge place. It's a huge marketplace. The housing industry in Lagos is enormous. And I know Sofa is already getting into that industry, but I can tell her that all of the things that she's spoken about this morning are things that we have actually thought through too, and we're looking at it. But that particular policy on the monthly tenancy, I think we should take a back step, and then once we come up with everything that we have thought about and put on the table to do it, you would actually applaud the Lagos State government and governor as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about the the government has no business in doing business. You know, the real primary assignment of government is to provide the environment for business people to contribute to the society. I wonder what the process is for business owners within the real estate space to access funding, because one of the challenges that many people have is you are accessing private funds to build. You cannot now implement a policy that would make the recovery of those funds slow. So what is the government doing to provide funds for existing real estate structures to be able to create more housing units, number one? Number two, and how can they get on the mortgage level so that they can recover their funds, and the mortgage bank is the one now recovering funds from people who buy properties from them?
So, Tope, one of the reasons why we are actually looking at a number of policies is actually to create a governance structure in the industry. If you do not have an appropriate governance structure, you would not have access to funding. So if we do not put all these policies in place and make sure that the system and the process is transparent, you won't have access to funding to develop real estate. And it's a quid pro quo for everybody that once there's an appropriate governance structure, there's transparency in the industry, there are appropriate guidelines and policies guiding the industry, it will be seamless to get funding. On the issue of recovery, we have the mortgage foreclosure law right now at the House of Assembly. We are legislating already on it. And very soon, getting back your properties will be as seamless as ever. Because once we put that clause into our mortgage law, then you won't have to wait an eternity in the law court to recover your property. So we're looking at all the angles. Like, you know, Dr. I used to live in the U.S. as well, and I know that there are processes that guide these things, and if those processes are not available in the industry here, we would not be able to actually do a lot of the things we're doing. So we're looking at all the angles. The entire real estate value chain is huge, and we're going to cover it by God's grace.
All right, Ma, let's take a short break. When we come back, we come to you. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC Communications story.
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
kọjú wa sọ nìyẹn.
bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí rẹ̀ lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi sì sọ kí.
torí kí ni.
àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ bí jẹ́rẹ̀ lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ yẹ kí ọmọ tó mọ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have Madam Toke Benson with us. Miriam had a question.
Mariam, I was wondering if you heard when we talked about the informal sector and how, you know, what the pre-qualifications for them would be to access housing.
Oh, yes, I heard you, and I think I already mentioned that. I told you about the Lagos Mortgage Board looking into their bank accounts and looking at the pattern there and seeing that there's actually an income that comes in either on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis to determine if they actually do qualify. So we have traders. We have people who are in the market who do all sorts of trading. And we would not want to leave them out of the marketplace as well for housing. We want to get as much people as we can up the home ownership ladder. So we have not excluded them in any way. We have taken them into consideration, and they've been beneficiaries of our rent-to-own scheme. I can tell you that.
All right, Nima?
Yes. Already, as it is, they, like you said, they cover people that are in those, what we call informal sector. But you mentioned that over 20% or 25% of the estates within Lagos are already taken over by civil servants. So there's still a problem of meeting the percentage line that qualifies some of these people in the informal sector to be able to access homes within Lagos State. For choices of areas that they want, some people have to earn as high as 800 to 700 per month for them to qualify for certain estates. What exactly are their options, other options that they have aside, this system, what is already obtainable?
Nima, and as much as 700, 800, I don't think you will even want to do the Lagos State housing scheme. The most that I know of today, which is the one coming up, I think, in Socio-economic, and that will be going for, the 3-bedroom will be going for about 25 million. The repayment, the monthly repayment is I think about 230,000, if I'm not mistaken, between 200 and 250,000. So definitely, you won't have to earn up to 800,000 to get a place like that. And you must know, Nima, that Lagos is we don't have that land size. And we're trying to develop other areas. We're moving into the Lekki axis and the Badagry axis, so that, as you know, we have 250 units in Italy and Badagry. And we have another 400 units somewhere in Badagry as well, also coming up. So we're taking into consideration all areas. You also must know that not everybody lives on the island in Surulere, and I know you know that, Nina. In Surulere, in Victoria Island, and Ikoyi, and Lekki. We have people who live in Ikorodu, who live in Igodo. We have about 660 units coming up in Igodo as well, apart from the 480 that we did in 2019. So the market is huge, and that's why we encourage private practitioners as well to come into the program. We are not doing it for profit. Government is not for profit. So we're yielding that space to the private developers to do it. But we also must think of policies that would help income earners. Not everybody can buy that home. Not everybody can buy those homes that are being built by the developers. So we need to put policies in place that can help it. But I'm going to repeat it again. I'm not going to tell you what we have in the basket, but you will applaud us when we come up with this program. It's going to be a win-win for the developer, the homeowner, the landowner, the landlord, and the off-takers as well. I can assure you of that.
Thank you so much, Honorable Toke Benson. Thank you for being on the show. We'll keep monitoring this. If we have more questions, we'll invite you to answer. I hope you'll come.
I sure will. I'm a friend of the house.
All right. Thank you so much. I think we have to take a short break. When we come back, the show continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup?
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script?
Check.
Are we set in the VCR? All Tim in place? VCR?
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
Kọjú wa sọ yìí.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ bí jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọ mọ̀ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ yẹ kí ọmọ tó mọ̀ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics, the latest of your.
Thanks for staying with us. The federal government on Wednesday said it was currently devising better ways to close down internally displaced persons camps across the country. It said this was because it initially did not expect IDPs in many of the camps to stay so long in the facilities, stressing that government could not continue to care for individuals who should contribute to nation building. What are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation by calling us on 081-270-53687 or 091-390-76948. And we will be having a guest, Honorable Satomi Ahmad, currently Jere Federal Constituency of Borno in the 9th National Assembly, to join us in this conversation. But first, let's get the thoughts of the ladies.
So let me say my own on this matter. When I saw the story, just by reading the headline, I felt upset. Then when I went into it, I heard we cannot continue to look after people who are supposed to contribute to nation building. And I'm wondering, did you look after anybody? Did you listen to the numbers and reports of, the outrageous reports of corruption happening within these camps? You said facility, there was none. These houses are makeshift tents. If you see most of them, there was really no building. Makeshift tents, people live in fact, they were refugees. The way they lived, the government really didn't put anything in place. Everything in most of those camps were temporary. We have the grass cutting scandal, money is being diverted, monies for their feeding being diverted. So, yes, is that a facility? So the report would have covered the extent, assessment of what has been done so far, the budget, that has gotten into this, what exactly was spent, and let's have people face consequences of the corruption that put people in this kind of lifestyle. People stayed in these camps for years, 5 to 7 years. Some kids were born, displaced, never know parents, they lived in this, and you just want to, just get out of the system and say, okay, we think we should
run away from the responsibility.
Back to nation building. And I found it ridiculous. I think it is It is
Well,
so...
The comment was
Yeah, for me, when I saw
sensitive.
the headline too, I had the same sentiment. But when I read it, for me, what I saw was we're trying to devise ways of making sure that we reintroduce them back into society. So that is where I got it from, like a positive thing. They're devising, they're looking for the best ways to do it with, with dignity. So the IDP camps, just as we've seen the pictures, they make, those, it's what would you call deplorable conditions that people were made to live in. They did not choose to stay there. They did not want to be there. They were there because of all the insecurity that has been happening across, our country, and especially in the north. So people, we have discussed here on Amnesty International report about some of the abuses that go on there. So for me, I want for people to actually be taken back to proper habitation, They should be properly rehabilitated. And I hope that in the ways that they are looking at it, they are not looking at just pushing people away. Because now we want to just pass the buck. Let us be done with seeing people in camps and just, push them away from us so that we can now say we are done with the job. I hope that it means that we are building proper structures. We are finding housing and putting them properly. We are getting jobs and putting them in jobs properly. We are making sure that their children are in school. We are making sure that there's a healthcare system for when they go back into these communities that they have them. We are making sure that there's security right now in those communities where they'll be going to. So that is the sort of conversation I hope we'll be having. Not that we're just going to push people away from the camps and say, well, there's nobody in the camps, but they have gone on ahead to suffer in other places.
Thank you so much,
So we have over 2 million internally displaced people within Nigeria. We have about 300,000 displaced refugees outside. So IDPs are refugees. They're just that they are within the country. Refugees are the ones that are now, they've moved outside the country. I think that they should be moved to rehabilitate, to reintroduce them into the society. But I do not believe that it should be conveyed this way into via media. I think there's a lot of, maybe it's the PR, maybe it's the, Yoruba will say, agbe sokale oro, like how we say something. Because you can't say it in a way that will make them look like they're not contributing to society, because they were contributing to society. Most of the people were farmers. Yeah. They had work. They were earning a living. Yes. Their farm was burnt. Their livelihood was disrupted. They are trying to get themselves, and they've been treated in a very inhuman way, according to the reports that have been out several times concerning how these camps run. So obviously, we can't just keep them in the camps indefinitely. There must be a calculated program that is integrated, a system that will train them on a new way of life outside, because most of them, their areas are still not habitable. Many of these people, the place they were displaced from, still are not safe enough for them to go back to their locality. So where exactly do you want to move them to? What is the process that is being done to sensitize them on this is what you will now be doing? What training have they gotten? And there were many private individuals who went into these camps with the aim of helping to provide them skills, and some of them lost their lives. Some of them got kidnapped. And so it goes beyond just this statement that we read in papers right now. I would like our government, the people in charge, and obviously we're going to be asking questions from someone who can give us more information, to tell us specifically how this system would go on to mentally prepare them for the society. And as well as provide educational structures for the children, while not taking into cognizance the fact that these people had a livelihood before, and we must be sensitive to the loss they've suffered over the years.
Thank you so much, Tope. Let's talk to Honorable Satomi. Good morning, sir. Are you there? Are you there, sir?
Please don't listen to the TV.
Honorable Satomi, can you hear me?
Morning, how are you?
We're doing amazing, sir. So I'm sure you heard a bit of what the ladies have said.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah. You've had a bit of what the ladies have said concerning the news, what we have on the news on how the IDPs will no longer be in existence. What is the plan? Can you tell us exactly what you think the plan is?
Thank you very much for this program and for having me. returning the IDPs is one major issue. Hello?
We can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, returning the IDP is one major issue. The Borno State government and the entire Northeast humanitarian managers are advocating for. But thanks for the federal government to announce that it has an intention to return back the IDPs sooner, or it wants to work a plan to return them back. But returning them back, you know, Nigeria is a signatory to the Kampala Convention, which entails that return must be voluntarily and dignified. Dignified in the sense that there must be first a security to where they are returning, and then a means of livelihood must be established in a sustainable manner, where they will go back to their places of abode and go to their farms. But the major challenge is, who are the drivers, as the federal government is saying? Are they the state actors, or the development partners, or the federal government with different types of committees that up to this moment I'm talking, they did not get even the coordination right, to be sincere. That's why you will see a lot of today interministerial committee, the Presidential Committee on the Northeast Development, the PCNI, the Ministry of Humanitarian, etc., etc. But all it will come down to a proper mechanism must be put in place, if at all the federal government is seriously this time around. But we in Borno State is a welcome development, is what the governor is advocating for long, for the return of IDPs. Because this internally displaced person, if you look at it globally, Nigeria is like number 7 or number 8 in the global index, having a population of total about 1.2 million internally displaced persons. But other statistics showing we have over 2 million internally displaced persons. But looking at the way they have been running their life in the past, there is a lot of crying for diversion, for abuses, sexual, gender-based violence, and a lot of things. And this time around, I am hoping the federal government will put a mechanism in place where the return will be dignified, the return will be transparent. Transparent in a sense that the money that are marked for such projects must be utilized judicially. If not, I don't think they will succeed. And I am proposing, if they will allow the respective state government to champion the cause alongside the developmental partners, and the federal government to put a strong committee or a ministerial committee that will coordinate with a time frame. Time frame in a sense that this is the first time we are seeing a lot of surrendering Boko Harams. And then people, issue of social cohesion and other things will come in now. Why I say social cohesion, you know, in all these liberated areas, I'm talking of Borno State, there are people who have returned voluntarily on their own, taking refuge as an internally displaced person in the headquarters of the respective local government. Their numbers amounted to getting to about 900,000 across Borno State. Wow. And there are internally displaced persons from the host communities who have never been in the IDP camp, but they stayed with their families, they stayed in a rented apartment, and they are forced to a lot of labors managed by other development partners or given to them by the government. This time around, you have also children that were born in the IDP camp and have reached school age of primary school, and some have completed the school at emergency in the respective camps that they are about to go to a post-primary school, and others are in tertiary institutions. And now you want to return them back. Issue of shelter must be there, livelihood support must be there, wash facilities must be there, and all this thing requires huge amount of resource for them to return back and stay. If not, today we will return them. Before you know, in 1 week, the stipends, if there is no mechanism that you are giving them, they will sell it and they will return back to the city. Some will turn as beggars, some will turn as, turn to be as sex slaves, as we are seeing. A lot of drug addicts is there. So therefore, the tax is huge. What we are saying that is a welcome development, but we have to ensure that there is a proper mechanism, a sustainable mechanism with a follow-up and feedback mechanism, that when they return, what are they going to do? How are they going to start their school? How are they going to gain back the limits of their livelihood? Is the place that they are returning safe, or you are creating a second displacement while the militaries have not cleared all such places? So it's not just mere announcing that, yes, we want to return, but what is the plan? Where is the plan? Who are in the platform that will champion this cause? I think the job is huge. If not, we are returning back to...
I can see you're quite passionate about this. Thank you so much for that detailed explanation. But let's get more questions to you,
so,
Nima.
What are you, as a representative of some of these areas in the House, doing to ensure that the level of corruption reported from these camps are not only investigated but prosecuted? We've had IDPs call out officials working on food distribution, on shelter, and even certain outrageous abuses, like some that you mentioned, sexual, and all of that, for food, make mothers have to sleep for the portion of food that are due to their children, which is, of course, outrightly raping them. So what exactly are you doing to ensure that they get justice?
Are you there, sir?
Oh, looks like we lost him.
We've not lost him. Okay, he's there. Did you get the question? Okay.
Yes, I got the question. What are we doing on the misappropriation and non-proper management of the internally displaced camps? This is a very good question, and this is a major challenge in the IDP camps. I mentioned that there is an issue of coordination. Up to this moment that I'm talking about, the federal government did not get the coordination right. There must be a humanitarian coordination on the United Nations Development part headed by OCHA. And there's supposed to be a government that's supposed to champion this cause. And then if at all, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So we did not get the coordination right. If at all we have the coordination right, coordination simply means to identify the 4 Ws of all the development partners. And then if there is, by now, in the coordination cycle, there must be an agency like the ICPC, like agencies like the EFCC. So also the police, the DSS are there. So therefore, if everyone has to do its work, by now, we will know where the gap is coming from, and then intervention can come in either by means of prosecuting them or arresting those officials or individuals that are perpetrating such acts within the cycles of the internally displaced person management camps and other in the host communities. But today, as I am speaking to now you, most of us, particularly I did not count myself out, that managing the affairs of the internally displaced people in one way or the other tends to operate on our own without proper identification of 4 Ws or 5 Ws. What, where, when, who. So duplication of efforts are there, repetition, diversion, etc., etc. So therefore, if all such things have to be done, we need to all come on board. But as a member of the parliament, for us, we can only pass a resolution. And once we pass a resolution, for the agencies, it's now left for the agencies and the committees to take that action. And then from there, you will see it will send to levels of the committee, and this is the end. It will melt down at the bureaucratic issues of the committees of the House or the Senate or the agencies that are supposed to checkmate all these things. But that's why the only solution is to find out a proper mechanism where those people will be relocated back to their community, and there must be a follow-up mechanism for sustainable, in line with the Kampala Convention, that the return must be safe, must be dignified, and above all, security must be there from where we are returning them.
Thank you, Honorable.
If we take them back to the local government headquarters, still we are creating a second.
Thank you, Honorable. Let me get in 2 more questions quickly.
Yes. So, Honorable, if you could just help me, let's just list. Let's not just, instead of explaining, can we list in what process or procedure do you think would be the best way to go about rehabilitating or taking these people back into society? What should be the first step? So that even Nigerians would be looking at it and saying, okay, yes, they've done the first step right. Then what should be the second step? And what should be the third step? And who should be the stakeholders that will be involved in making sure that this process is followed and also checking and balancing if there are any abuses?
Okay, please, I wanted to just ask again specifically, have you, in your capacity, Nima asked the question, but we didn't get a specific answer. Have you investigated any corruption allegation within the IDP camps specifically, and have you been able to prosecute or initiate the process of prosecuting anybody that is guilty?
Did you get the questions, Honorable?
He's listening to it.
Can you come again? The question?
The last question or the first?
Yes, the last question.
Have you? So she's asking for specifics. Have there been any prosecution of anybody guilty from the corruption on the in the IDP camps? Specific.
It's no time.
A bit delayed.
Thank you very much. Let me answer the first question. The first step is straightforward. First, to establish the place of return, as I said, must be safe. Therefore, where you are taking them to ensure that it's safe, are you taking them to the local government headquarters, or you are taking them back to their respective communities? If that's it, you make sure that the place is safe, the basic facilities are there. That is health, water, and sanitation. And then, who are the drivers of the return? Who are the actors? Is it the state government that is the principal actor, supported by the federal government? If that is so, is the best idea. Then first, the state government has to get the right data. The right data of the household, where they are returning to, and then profile them in a proper mechanism that you can monitor them. That is the feedback mechanism I'm talking. Then after that, when you return them, what are you engaging them? Are they farmers before? What support the government is giving them? Are they merchants that lost everything? What kind of compensation you are giving them or assistance? Unlikely, not the food assistance I'm talking, or just by mere giving them a startup kit of 40,000 or 50,000 naira. I lost a billions, for instance. You cannot take me back and start giving me 50,000 naira. I'm a farmer. You will not just take me to keep me in an IDP camp without a proper support.
Thank you,
so therefore,
Honorable.
profiling of their data is very important in respect to their means of livelihood.
Thank you, Honorable. You've answered the question. Can you quickly give us the second one?
You are taking them. Let them know where they are going to, and let them be aware that what they will start immediately, but not taking them and creating them as a second place.
All right. Thank you, Honorable.
There are several procedures that carried out by the TSS, by the police within the IDP camps.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry we have to go. Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Satomi Ahmad, for that contribution. That was he has given us what we should expect to see before this can actually work. That's all we can take on the show today. So we'll come your way again tomorrow. Bye-bye now.